Calling to order the second session of the Committee on Agriculture, Water, Energy, and Sustainability. It's March 3rd, and it's about 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. And would everyone please turn off your cell phones and anything that might be disturbed, make noise. And in terms of roll call, I want to first mention that Councilmember Eoff and Miley David are in Kona due to other commitments there and time constraints. So reluctantly, we miss them, but accept that they're here by video conferencing. And to my far right, we have Councilmember Gregor Iligan, and then Councilmember Baleka, and Councilwoman Valerie Poindexter, and our chair, Drew Kanuha. And to my immediate right is Councilmember Chung. And fresh, I'm sure, will be here very shortly. So Councilmember Onishi. So calling Councilmember Onishi. Okay. So first is statements from the public, and Ms. Joy Cash, I believe you are the first up here in Hilo, and Robert Patrici. So if you two could come forward, and while you are, I want to check in with the other sites. So in Kona, do you have any testifiers?
Good morning, Madam Chair. We do not have any testifiers for your committee today. Thank you.
Okay. Kohala, do you have any?
Aloha, Chair. I have no testifiers for your committee.
And Waimea?
Good morning, Chair. We do not have any testifiers for your committee.
What about Pahoa?
Good morning, Madam Chair. We have 5 testifiers for your committee today.
Thank you. And Kau? Kau, do you have any testifiers?
Good morning, Madam Chair. We have no testifiers. We just have 2 people that want to listen.
Okay, so I'm going to be going back and forth between Hilo and Pahoa. If anyone were to show up at any of the other sites, you need to signal me. Thank you. Go right ahead, Ms. Cash.
My name is Joy Cash. I'm a resident of Hilo, and I never thought I'd live to see the day when I couldn't support a resolution by Margaret Willey. I don't believe in negotiating with the devil. And when we come to big, global, corporate interests, I want to side on the protection, and especially not to give up the legal protections of our community. That's my sincere thought on this. And I understand as an attorney that you look for compromise and compromise positions to move forward. But I don't see this as something that I can support. And I sincerely I understand your position, and but this is something that our health and safety of our brothers and sisters in Puna are so important to us. Have to be, because if we, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Patrici, yeah.
Aloha, Council. Aloha, Council. I sent you the testimonial. I hope you got it. So I'm going to try and just hit on some of the points which are, representing Punapona Alliance. We're in strong opposition to this resolution, absolute opposition. We oppose it. But we do appreciate the opportunity to come here and present facts and talk about it. So since I was wondering, did we get an answer to this question? Since we're in litigation on this issue, is there anything improper about what we're doing?
Let me say, I did speak with Corporation Counsel. It's a resolution. It's urging mediation and resolution. There's nothing binding, offering it out, so it's, I don't think so. I mean,
I just would hate to complicate the case.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that said, there was a lot of discussion about trust between the public and the county in the prior, speaking on the Ethics Commission, and we have a serious issue of trust here now between the community and the county. The county is responsible for what's happening out to this community in PGV. In 1991, they issued a GRP permit to Puna Geothermal Venture, and at that time, all of these concerns were brought to the attention of the county by the community, and we were promised that we were going to be taken care of and protected, and that has not happened. We are here today, 34 years after this started for me, and we have the same issues and the same problems, and I think that the county is responsible now. If people get hurt going forward, the county is responsible. We know what's going on. We've brought this to your attention many times for decades, and it's about time that the county government step in and protect the quality of life and the health and safety of the Puna community and not put the interests of a corporation before that. And basically that's what's happened. We have been delegated to the second status, or a sacrificial community, because of everybody wants geothermal. The state and the county want geothermal. They get royalties. It pays money. It sounds great, good, clean energy. But there are thousands of people that live around this project that was poorly, the permitting process is a very poor process. You cited this project in the middle of a pre-existing residential community with no buffers, no setbacks, and no regulation. So I hope you will fix this. I think we're going to need to reopen the GRP. That's the root of the problem, or one of the roots of this problem. So please consider reopening the GRP, and let's deal with this. Read the house study that we did, and read the report from Goddard, the state investigation of the blowout, and then realize we're still in the same position now. Nothing has changed for us as a community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Pahoa, your first two testifiers, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'd like to introduce our first two testifiers here in Pahoa. We have Dave Kaiser, opposing resolution number 89-15, representing himself. Next, we have Tony Hazel representing herself, making a comment on resolution number 89-15. Mr. Kaiser?
Thank you. My name's Dave Kaiser, and I live in Nottowally Estates. I'm approximately 1.5 miles as the aardvark flies from Puna Geothermal. Generally, I only hear a little bit of it at night, but it was one fine morning about sometime between 3:30 and 4. I was too busy trying to figure out why I was actually asleep, or if this was something else happening. That grinding frequency woke me up. I kind of freaked out Toby. Thought I'd give you an example.
Can I get you to hold just a minute? Pull the speaker a little closer in front of you, just so we don't miss any of what you're saying.
The short line here.
Short lease.
We got a real short leash here.
Okay, right.
This is a test of the 1MC from the bridge. You, Roger, over.
You're good.
Is you hearing better now?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
Shall I begin at the beginning, or
No,
continue
go right
on?
ahead from where you were.
Okay. Well, evidently, the chair of the council person who wrote this is considerably more aware of the genetically modified and other food issues than geothermal. Like most people on the island, they're not in Puna. That's not their problem, unless, of course, they start drilling in their district, and then it will be. But it's just that this resolution, or this bill, or whatever it is, gives PGV, just lets them drill nighttime drilling 5 nights, which means we get Four. Okay, four. And we get beaten for the remainder. But fear not, the beatings will continue until morale improves. And PGV only wants to think about the noise value measured in decibels. But that's not the problem. It could be a frequency that's not extra loud. You're going to get that grinding that I won't repeat. I don't want to take Toby's hearing out again. But it's about other things. You know, it's a nuisance. People who live close, if they live close enough to get gassed out on a regular basis, and a number of them have, that's you know, it's like sights, sounds, smells. You have the gamut of the gamut of senses that it can just abuse. So we believe that the night drilling is just, they shouldn't be drilling anyway. It's against the law. However, PGV chooses to ignore that, and they're doing their best to believe that it isn't the law. So anyway, I shall hand over to Toby, if I haven't really knocked out her hearing.
Okay. All right, so we're adding insult to injury. That seems to be what this is about. And to have 2 nights off and 4 sleepless nights doesn't seem to be a fair balance. You know, when my neighbors start playing their boom boxes and rap music really, really loud, I get to call the police come, they tell them, okay, it's 10 o'clock, you have to shut up, and the woman screams, I won't quote unquote, that I'm a BIT whatever, and finally she shuts up, and I go to sleep. So that's where I live. And also, to add the drilling to that, I can hardly wait. I'm also in Nanavali. I look forward to the divulging of the secret locations of the next drilling. And I suggest, I could go with the bill if the other 4 nights, we have a voucher to go to a B&B or a hotel of our choice. That's simple. Just hand out the vouchers. If we can't sleep, we'll drive somewhere else and go to bed, you know, get up in the morning and, you know, go home. You know, I was thinking while I gave this testimony, I should be pounding like this so that you could be aware of what that's like. And then also I was thinking very much, I was back east, my mom passed away, and I had to pack everything, and I was down in New York City just to catch the Moscow girls group called Pussy Riot. Couldn't let them out of jail, and they came to New York. Okay, so they came to New York and they wrote a song that's called I Can't Breathe, you know, to support these people that are being, you know, chokehold by the system, by the police. So I'm going to write to them and ask them to come here and write a song called I Can't Sleep. So if you want us to go ahead and do all these ridiculous things, you know, please, by all means, drive us crazy and we will respond in kind. Thank you.
Okay, Harry Kim and Tom Travis. Go ahead, Mr. Kim.
I will apologize to this council in regards before I say anything on the subject because of the sitting down of extreme frustration, disappointment, and truthfully confusion on why I'm here.
Can you just state your name just so
I'm
it's
sorry.
on the
Name is
record?
Harry Kim, retired. Hopefully. Last time I was here was for approximately 9 hours, testimony, the same thing. And I am not here to dramatize anything, but I talked to the corporate counsel outside there. It is of pure confusion as a resident of this island. I mean, I heard almost all of you in your promises to the county of Hawaii in regards to why you are running and why you want the job that you're sitting up there for. I believe, and unless someone tells me differently, we are being made a mockery of home rule. So whenever of anything of home rule occurs, who do we as citizens look towards for leadership? It is of you. This is what we have. Everybody knows that of government, the closest to the public is the most relevant form of government in regards to input and participation, and that is of you. Why are we here discussing this? You know, because one of you and more of you have said, the ordinance passed about 2 years ago stating drilling shall occur only during the daylight hours of certain hours and forbidden at night hours. Ordinance passed by the legislative body of this island. Law. Endorsed by the mayor. Law. There is a violation that's been going on for about 2 weeks. Where are you? Why are you not passing or going out there and said a law is being violated in blatant disregard of the county government of Hawaii? An ordinance that you passed, not you individually, but the county council. Last time I was here, I begged all of you to please read Act 97. That Act 97 took away 100% of the home rule of zoning. Aren't you scared of that? That these powers that we're dealing with, whoever they are, have said, home rule, if we don't like the law, we will change the law. If we don't like the law, we'll go around it and we'll find a way to go around it. And that is what has happened. There is no such thing as geothermal resource permit that protected the island and the land and the people of this land in the development of geothermal. I am not against geothermal. I have said it over 30 years. All I ask is that we do it correctly. And that's all I'm here for. There is a law being violated. They took away all of the laws in regards to protection of provision of local input, including GRP. There's no requirement for GRP anymore. You know, on the home rule, you had control of all of these things. You know right now, members of the council, because of Act 97, they took away, as the previous speaker said, all of the promises we made as government to the people of Puna and this state in the development of geothermal. We will protect land, air, water, and people. Okay. And these are the rules.
Thank you.
And they took it all away. Only you can stand in their way. I ask of you to go out there and stop this illegal violation that's going on that is making a mockery of county law.
Thank you, Mr. Kim.
My name is Tom Travis. I live on Papaya Farms Road in Lower Puna. I thank you for the opportunity to testify on this issue. I'm here to testify against a resolution that has been introduced to achieve mediation between Puna Pono Alliance and Puna Geothermal Venture. I would like to make 3 points. First, the county is part and party to the lawsuit discussed in the resolution. It seems inappropriate for the county council to assume the role of mediator in that situation. Second, the county council is a poor choice as a mediator between PGV and the community. On 2 separate occasions, I have attempted to inform the county council of problems that occurred on the night of August 7th when Tropical Storm Iselle made landfall. Neither time did the council show interest in how PGV injured about 130 of its nearest neighbors, nor did the council take any action to find out what occurred. As to noise, one of the issues that is addressed by the nighttime drilling ordinance, regulation over the years has been eased to allow PGV increasingly more latitude to disturb neighbors while doing less to reduce noise. Except for the ordinance we are discussing, the council has taken no action. But some reports indicate that the county, namely the planning director, is taking action to ensure PGV is using best available control technology. However, use of such technology has been required by the geothermal resource permit for decades and has been ignored except when there is a public outcry. Noise surveys and actions based on them are also required by the GRP. However, again, those noise surveys are only conducted when there is a public outcry. Finally, when the county did address abatement, there was no request for community input. For me, a county council resolution for compromise asking PPA to drop the lawsuit rings hollow and self-serving. Third, Punapono Alliance is a volunteer organization without staff. It represents our community to the degree that we are able to do so. What volunteer do you expect to convince the community to accept your wisdom as you see it? Before asking PPA to volunteer its time, which is given for free, to address these issues, I ask you, paid county council members, to use your paid time to honestly address the broad issues making Lower Puna a sacrificial community. The most important issue that I ask you immediately address is what happened to the community on the evening of August 7th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Carrie Marks, or let me go next to, but Carrie Marks and Michael Kalakini will be next here. But the next two testifiers in Pahoa, please. Go right ahead.
Two testifiers. We have Joyce Solena and Gregory Smith, both representing themselves and opposing resolution number 89-15.
Ms. Michael. Thank you very much for the opportunity to testify today. I'm in strong opposition to this resolution. I think it's 89-15. And I'm a little confused. I'm disappointed in Margaret Willie's desire to present this resolution, although I realize she is attempting some kind of mediation with it. It's an inappropriate resolution. It condemns us to allow the illegal drilling at night for 4 nights a week. It says from Friday night until Monday morning they don't drill. Why? I want an answer in your discussion, please. I want Mrs. Willie to tell me why she wants to condemn us to listen to drilling 4 nights a week when the law clearly states no drilling. The law states it in affirmative. It says you can drill only from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. That's the law. Codified Section 14, County Code Section 14-114, and their present drilling permit was obtained after this law came into effect and was entered into our county code. So the aforementioned testimonies by Mr. Kim and by Mr. Travis said it all very clearly and very succinctly. There's a point in time when mediation is not appropriate. And this is the point in time. Our lives, our wellnesses, the values of our properties, everything that we have here in Lower Puna hang in the balance. Refuse to be sacrificed so that people all over the county can have more electricity. Use outmoded and dangerous technology such as that has provided this area. We won't be your sacrificial lambs. We don't believe in that. This solution and do something positive to help us. Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
Good morning, Council. Gregory Smith, Puna. I do appreciate again, Margaret, your attempt to find some resolution, but mediation at this juncture, particularly after 30 years of abuse by this company and by the state of Hawaii when they did their experimental station down in the same area, is enough. The fact of the matter is that, this community has never been protected by the government of Hawaii or the state, Hawaii County or the state of Hawaii, and to a very little degree from the federal government, the EPA. The problem here is that we have a company now that is absolutely flagrantly violating law, and I think one of their reasons they feel they can get away with this is because the state
of the State Act 97, as Mayor Kim had pointed out. Again, why do we need you as a council, or even the administration to work? Why should we even pay you if you don't do your job protecting health and safety, which, by the way, is your main function? That's your function, not to promote a business. You're not in business. You're here to protect the people, period. End of conversation. Forgive me my anger, but I've been here 25 years and I've been negatively affected by this operation since day one. I only had 9 months after I bought my property there in Leilani Estates, and I was told that, oh no, they're not going to do any geothermal down there anymore. With that, I bought the property. 9 months later, this stinking operation comes in and starts making my life and the life of other people around the plant miserable. We're 3.5 miles away. Last night, we heard them either drilling or doing something last night because the inversion layer finally came, and of course, the sound bounces from the plant to the inversion layer back to the earth, and 3 or 4 times, or however many times, and we can hear it 3.5 miles away. Maybe some people, have, but, this, Margaret, please just withdraw this bill. I mean this resolution, excuse me. And this county council should be out there demanding that the county sue Ormat and PGV. That's what you should be doing. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Carrie Marks and Michael Kalikini. Carrie, go ahead.
Good morning, Council. I am Carrie Marks. I'm from Kalmana City here in Hilo, and I am here to support very strongly the nomination of Nani Puglini to the Game Management Advisory Commission. I have known Nani for a couple years, and she is awesome. I think it's super cool that you're putting a woman on the game commission, and I know that this woman can handle. I have met her at all kinds of meetings, state meetings, DLNR meetings. She follows the legislation, she follows the issues, and she is well respected amongst the hunters on this island. So I strongly support Nani Puglini, and thank you for this nomination. Mahalo.
Thank you, Ms. Marks. Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you, Chair Willie, council members. My name is Mike Kalikini. I'm with Pune Geothermal Venture. And I'd like to provide comment on Resolution 89-15. First off, I appreciate Chair Willie with your attempt for the mediation, but I'd have to stand fast on our position as I testified with regards to stopping drilling every night. To stop only during the weekends would probably be of more concern because of the longer period of stoppage. And again, it has to do with safety first. The safety of the drilling, of the process itself, that thermal cycling that would occur if you were to stop every night, the potential for gas buildup, and the potential for the loss of the mechanical integrity of the well itself. In lieu of that, I feel like Ordinance 12-151, the nighttime drilling ban from 2012, really stemmed from the concern of noise. And to that effect, we have worked very closely with outside consultants. We have worked very closely with county government, specifically the planning department. And I would like to say that, from my perspective, county government and different departments have been very helpful and proactive in addressing the noise issues. And on top of that, the BACT requirements as required in the GRP was definitely a huge sticking point. I've heard that we haven't done anything for years, but that is not the case. And, part of us gaining final approval for drilling was to make sure that we comply with the noise BACT mitigations with the planning department. And that's what we've done. And we've also brought back our noise consultant who originally showed up before drilling to do a baseline survey.
You have 30 seconds.
And our noise consultant just completed a site visit with drilling operations. And we should be gaining a written report with more additional recommendations on how to further mitigate noise. And we look forward to that because we've got verbal discussions and there's some things that are relatively quite simple that we can do to help in reducing noise. So to that effect, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And then Tom, Tom, see. And while he's coming up, would if you have any other testifiers in Pahoa, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representing herself in opposition of resolution number 89-15.
Aloha. Again, my name is Sophia Wilt, and I live in Lower Leilani Estates, less than a mile from the geothermal plant. I appreciate the opportunity to voice my position, and hopefully will be heard. When the grinding, droning noise of the drilling and other invasively noisy PGV operations are banging away at all hours of the day and night, I'm reminded of the different but loud and frightening jet engine sound the night of August 7th of last year. That was when Isel hit Puna, and PGV thought it was a fine idea to remain in operation. I was trapped in my home due to fallen trees and unable to leave, and was knocked unconscious by a clearly dangerous amount of hydrogen sulfide gas. There were others that lost consciousness and many more that suffered ill health effects due to the gassing. Neither the county nor the PGV did a sufficient job of even notifying the public of the gas explosion, let alone provide any outreach, support, or any contact whatsoever to follow up after that event. It would almost seem that the entire event would prefer to be forgotten. Prior to ISEL, I did have some basic concerns about the geothermal, but since ISEL, I have done my homework, and if history is of any demonstration, I do not trust PGV to be proactive, to be accountable, to use effective monitoring or notification systems to ensure the public safety during regular or drilling operations. PGV has acknowledged that there is inherent risks associated with drilling. And indeed, the noise is obtrusive and disruptive. It's like living in an industrial zone. The reason Punapono Alliance and a few concerned citizens, including myself, have filed a lawsuit is that simply the law is not being adhered to. PGV seems to think it is a fine idea to drill 24/7, even when the public and governing bodies created legal opposition to prevent it. Asking Punapono Alliance to drop the case is like asking someone to look the other way when a wrongdoing is being committed. Except in this case, it's the county asking the community to look the other way when they themselves are giving PGV the green light to go ahead and commit the wrongdoing. Why is the county favoring corporate interest over the law? It would seem PGV and the county regard this community's complaints and concerns, public demonstrations and outcry as bogus stuff made up by a fringy hippie community. I guess that is much easier than acknowledging the disturbances and hazards PGV does inflict upon this community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, CA.
Thank you, Chairperson Willie and members of the committee. As Mr. Kalakini indicated...
And just state your name for the record.
Oh, yes, Thomas Ye.
Councilwoman Willie, if you could ask him to pull the mic forward, because people in the back are saying they can't hear.
Thank you. Better?
Yes.
Thank you. The resolution, at least with respect to what it requests of PGV, is comprised of two components. One is whether or not it's able to comply with a request that no weekend drilling occur. Now, we went into those reasons, before, not going to repeat them, but we did pass out for your information a memorandum or letter from the Department of Land and Natural Resources, which actually regulates drilling permits, along with an informational memorandum from Geothermics, which indicated from an industry perspective why stopping nighttime drilling is not a safe proposition. For reasons related to loss of wellbore integrity, groundwater contamination, etc. Now, listening to some of the people who testified already, the idea is that, somehow no drilling at night is going to stop noise complaints or noise issues. One person said that last night there was some noise, but there was no drilling occurring last night. And the reason for that is because related to the whole issue of drilling operations are these various components of what you need to do to maintain well safety, which generate noise even though you're not drilling. So the proposed resolution still is a little bit off in terms of what it's trying to accomplish. In terms of whether or not PGV is willing to abide by the noise and light mitigation measures that are required by the planning director, PGV is certainly doing that and received approval from the county planning director, which I think you received a copy of the various measures for mitigation which were required. Those measures were really being worked on even as of the time of the last council's hearing. There's been some other misnomers also, and I'd like to address those because a lot of people like to say, gee, we need more home rule. Well, what people don't remember is that PGV operates under a geothermal resource permit that was issued by the county's planning commission. The noise and other abatement measures are regulated by the county planning director.
You have 30 seconds.
Emergency evacuation measures are regulated by the Department of Civil Defense. Those are all county agencies which have the ability to regulate and do regulate PGV's operations. So for those reasons, we've heard pretty clearly from PPA's perspective that it's not going to back off from the lawsuit. Nevertheless, PGV is doing all that it can in conjunction with the agency approvals to regulate noise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else here at any of the sites to testify? Otherwise, I'm going to close public testimony at this time. And clerk, can you read in the first item?
Communication 149-15 urges Puna Geothermal Venture, PGV, and the Puna community to come to an amicable agreement regarding the drilling of the new well. Urges PGV to agree to refrain from drilling from 7 p.m. on Friday until 7 a.m. on Monday for the duration of the drill and abide by the remedial measures for noise and light abatement requested by the County of Hawaii Planning Director, and urges Puna Pono Alliance to refrain from pursuing or supporting any further legal action provided that PGV complies with the above terms. Reference Communication 133, introduced by Ms. Willie.
Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think I'll turn this over to Ms. Poindexter to chair this as my vice chair.
Let the record show that I have assumed the chair. Discussion on Resolution 89-15. Councilmember Willie.
Yes, and let me say first, if it's the persuasion of the other council members, I am happy to withdraw and sort of curb any discussions on this. I do think that both the county and has been remiss in caring for the community, and that I think that PGV could do much more in terms of really working out amicable and they are neighbors and working out solutions. So I do think there is a deficit in that area. At the same time, I think there's both short-term issues and long-term issues, and those are the big picture ones. Right now, this drilling has already started, and this was really a follow-up to Councilmember Iligan's resolution, and basically encourage.
Aye.
Mr. Iligan?
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha?
Aye.
Mr. Onishi?
Did you say Ms.
Mr. Paleka?
Aye.
Ms. Willie?
Aye.
Chair Poindexter?
Aye.
Chair Poindexter, you have 9 ayes to adjourn.
Okay, this meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.